Did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life.
This, Johnny Depp insists, is the truth, that Amber Heard was the aggressor in their volatile, sometimes violent, 4-year relationship.
In her frustration and in her rage and her anger, she would strike out. She would... It could begin with a slap. It could begin with a shove.
Now Heard's team is putting Depp back on the stand to challenge his story, kicking off the final stretch of a trial that's become a worldwide sensation.
There's a lot of risk because we know he has been a well-prepared witness and a likable witness for the public at large.
Depp claims Heard defamed him when she called herself a public figure representing domestic abuse in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed. He's suing her for $50 million, and Heard is countersuing for $100 million. Witness after witness called by Heard's team has described Depp's drug and alcohol abuse.
He was drunk all the time, a lot of the time.
Fueling a violent rage.
Again, I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back.
Heard herself describing a torrent of abuse, both physical and sexual.
He just hit me over and over and over again. And I thought, this is how I die. He's gonna kill me now.
Depp's team tried to poke holes in Heard's story and her credibility in a withering cross-examination.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
I did not seek medical treatment after Australia, no.
Not for the rape?
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
The case is lighting up social media, where everybody's got an opinion. Both Depp and Heard claim the flood of allegations has damaged their careers and cost them movie roles. But
I mean, it is true. That is what happened. How can someone watch this and say mainstream media doesn't give Amber Heard favorable coverage? No, of course, mainstream media is giving Amber Heard favorable coverage. Yes, because it's like, because no one wants to take an L, okay? There's a couple different motivating factors here. One, no one wants to take an L and be like, okay, maybe we were like gassing this up a little bit too much, okay? And two, the other reason is because like there is already like a attitude in mainstream media, okay, where mainstream media does end up commodifying and like engaging in the hyper reductive takes on things that are incredibly complex. Okay, that's the point. That's the reason. That's what's going on. It is very difficult for the mainstream media to be like, yeah, let's have a nuanced approach to like when men can be victims too, and how men are victims of domestic violence in the hands of women. Like that's not exactly the same situation that occurred when Terry Crews came out, because he was getting sexually assaulted by another man. But when a man is getting assaulted or abused by a woman, that's a little bit too difficult for the mainstream media to parse through, okay? And that's it. And they already ran with the one-sided narrative that dictated that like Amber Heard was 100% the victim in this situation and Johnny Depp was 100% the abusive party in the situation. So now they can't fucking turn around and be like, yeah, we took an L on that. Actually, it's a little bit more complicated because domestic violence can happen to fucking men and be as a consequence of our patriarchal attitudes that we ourselves are also engaging in. We do not have the understanding that like men can also be abused by women both emotionally and physically. Okay, that's it. The abuse of men being overlooked and Johnny Depp being abusive can both be true at the same time. Yes, it can. But you know what can't happen? The mainstream media coverage of this reflecting that reality. That's the problem. Okay, that's the issue. That's the reason why it's not going to happen. That's why it's coming across like it's a super one-sided. It's a super one-sided attitude that is like hyper focusing on Amber Heard and Amber Heard's innocence and Johnny Depp's guilt. Okay.
But in the courtroom and online, the spotlight is still shining on the darkest chapters of their relationship.
So, Steph, you mentioned the risk of putting Depp on the stand again. So what is the strategy from Heard's team?
Well, legal experts say they had a tough time during the cross-examination with Depp. And if public opinion is anything to go by, a lot of people kind of were endeared by his performance, if you will, during that period of time. So what they're trying to do is get a second crack at him and hopefully try to trip him up.
I mean, think about it this way, chat. There are people in this community, okay? Some of you guys, maybe a lot of you guys actually, want me to take a fucking solid stance on this and be like, it's only Amber Heard. Amber Heard is the only abusive party here, and Johnny Depp is just a simple fucking perfect victim. He's innocent across the board. Or people who turn around and say, no, actually, Amber Heard is completely innocent, and Johnny Depp is the fucking violent party in this situation. He's a big bad man, right? There are people in here that want me to say that. So, of course, mainstream media is going to do that. You know what I mean? And, of course, other content creators are going to do that as well and not look at this in some kind of fucking nuance that it deserves, as it is a very complicated story. Okay? So if there are people who are like, if you're only with us or against us in here, then of course they're going to be like that in mainstream media as well.
The gamble is that they may not. And that will be one of the lasting impressions that the jury has of Johnny Depp.
And his team will get another crack as well. So, you know, it's not without risk.
All right. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.